This is the VOA Special English Economics Report. Businesses are structured in different ways to meet different needs. The simplest form of business is called an individual or sole proprietorship. The proprietor owns all of the property of the business and is responsible for everything. For legal purposes, with this kind of business, the owner and the company are the same. This means the proprietor gets to keep all of the profits of the business, but must also pay any debts. Another kind of business is the partnership. Two or more people go into business together. An agreement is usually needed to decide how much of the partnership each person controls. One kind of partnership is called a limited liability partnership. These have full partners and limited partners. Limited partners may not share as much in the profits, but they also have less responsibility for the business. Doctors, lawyers, and accountants often form partnerships to share their risks and profits. A husband and wife can form a business partnership together. Partnerships exist only for as long as the owners remain alive. The same is true of individual proprietorships. But corporations are designed to have an unlimited lifetime. A corporation is the most complex kind of business organization. Corporations can sell stock as a way to raise money. Stock represents shares of ownership in a company. Investors who buy stock can trade their shares or keep them as long as the company is in business. A company might use some of its earnings to pay dividends as a reward to shareholders. Or the company might reinvest the money back into the business. If shares lose value, investors can lose all of the money they paid for their stock. But shareholders are not responsible for the debts of the corporation. A corporation is recognized as an entity, its own legal being, separate from its owners. A board of directors controls corporate policies. The directors appoint top company officers. The directors might or might not hold shares in the corporation. Corporations can have a few major shareholders, or ownership can be spread among the general public. But not all corporations are traditional businesses that sell stock. Some nonprofit groups are also organized as corporations. For VOA Special English, I'm Carolyn Persutti. You can learn more about business and economics and learn English at the same time at voaspecialenglish.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter at VOA Learning English. This is the VOA Special English Economics Report. Space exploration technologies, or SpaceX, may be a company to watch in the coming years. On Tuesday, May 22nd, SpaceX successfully launched its Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral in Florida. The privately built and owned Dragon spacecraft was loaded with more than 500 kilograms of supplies for the International Space Station. The Dragon linked up with the space station after a 3-day flight. America's National Aeronautics and Space Administration is moving to private companies for services like bringing supplies to the space station. NASA official Bill Gerstenmaier spoke to reporters after the launch. He said the space agency has already signed a contract with SpaceX for the company's services on 12 flights. The agreement is worth $1.6 billion. Mr. Gerstenmaier said the United States no longer pays Russia to carry out such operations. SpaceX is based in Hawthorne, California. Elon Musk started the company in 2002, but it is not the first company founded by the South African-born businessman. He also started the internet payment service PayPal, which is now owned by online auction store eBay. His other company, Tesla Motors, makes electric cars. Elon Musk has likened modern space travel to where internet technology was in the 1990s. At that time, businesses were just starting to think about how to sell goods and services on the World Wide Web. Today, billions of dollars in goods and services are sold online. But after the launch, Mr. Musk tried to keep his attention on the job at hand. He said the immediate goal for SpaceX is to bring supplies to the space station. After that, he thinks the company will work toward improving its rocket technology. He said a major development would be to make what he calls a full and rapidly reusable rocket. The Dragon spacecraft is designed to be able to carry both astronauts and cargo. SpaceX says it has 40 launches planned over the next few years and contracts worth $4 billion. It says 60% of its upcoming flights are for businesses, not the government. For VOA Special English, I'm Carolyn Presutti. You can read, listen, and learn English with more stories about business and other subjects at voaspecialenglish.com.